You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 14th of January. Security forces nab Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's top court dismisses appeal against suspension of Sharif family sentences. An Afghan presidential candidate pledges to end ongoing conflict after elections. And now for all the details. Security forces on Monday apprehended a terrorist in Bandipora district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The arrested terrorist belongs to Pakistan-based Hizbul Mujahideen terror group, security officials claimed. A huge cache of arms and ammunition was also recovered from his possession.
Security forces on Monday apprehended a terrorist belonging to Pakistan-based Hizbul Mujahideen terror group from Bandipora district in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. Acting on a tip-off, a joint team of Indian Army, Central Reserve Police Force and Jammu and Kashmir Police laid a mobile vehicle checkpost and nabbed the terrorist. The arrested terrorist was identified as Sarfaraz Ahmed Seer. Security forces also recovered a huge cache of arms and explosive, including an AK-47 pistol, several rounds of bullets, a satellite phone and other warlike stores from his possession.
आज सुबह लगभग 10:30 और 11 के बीच में एक मिलिटेंट जो हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन से जुड़ा हुआ है, पिछले 5 सालों से वो एक्टिव था कुपवाड़ा, सोपुर और बांडीपुर बेल्ट में, जिसका नाम सरफराज अहमद सीर है। वो कैटेगराइज्ड मिलिटेंट है हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन का। वो आज सुबह पकड़ा गया है और उससे कुछ आर्म्स एम्युनिशन रिकवर हुआ है।
India has long accused Pakistan of arming and aiding terrorists to use them as proxy to mount attacks on Indian soil. Pakistan denies the allegations.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Sunday reiterated that India is committed to economic reconstruction of Afghanistan. She made the remarks while addressing the India-Central Asia dialogue held in Uzbekistan, which saw the participation of Afghanistan for the first time.
Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Sunday participated in the India-Central Asia dialogue with an aim to boost ties with Afghanistan and Central Asian nations. The dialogue held in Uzbekistan's Samarkand city was attended by leaders from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. This year's meeting saw participation of Afghanistan for the first time. During the ministerial meeting, Swaraj proposed setting up an India-Central Asia Development Group to take the relationship forward and to derive concrete proposals. She also reiterated that India is committed to economic reconstruction of Afghanistan.
India, through this dialogue, reiterates its support and commitment to peace, security and stability of Afghanistan, to promote inclusive, Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled peace and reconciliation process and to assist in economic reconstruction of Afghanistan.
Swaraj also held separate meetings with her Turkmenistan and Afghanistan counterparts on the sidelines of the dialogue to boost bilateral ties. She told her Afghan counterpart Salahuddin Rabbani that New Delhi was committed to extend its support in maintaining peace, security and stability in Afghanistan. India has centuries-old ties with Afghanistan and both accuse common neighbor Pakistan of not doing enough to stop militants operating on its territory. Pakistan denies the charges.
And in news from Pakistan, Pakistan's Supreme Court on Monday dismissed an appeal against the suspension of prison sentences to former Premier Nawaz Sharif and his family members in Amanfield corruption reference. Nawaz Sharif is already in prison since December 24th after being sentenced to jail for 7 years in Al Azizia Steel Mills case, another corruption reference.
Pakistan's Supreme Court on Monday dismissed the National Accountability Bureau's appeal against the suspension of prison sentences to former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, his daughter Maryam Nawaz, and son-in-law Mohammad Safdar in the Avenfield corruption reference. The top court upheld Islamabad High Court's verdict on September 19 last year that had ordered suspension of the prison sentences. An accountability court had in July last year convicted Nawaz Sharif, Maryam Nawaz and Mohammad Safdar in the Avenfield properties reference and sentenced them to 11 years, 8 years and 1 year of prison respectively. The Supreme Court observed that the anti-corruption watchdog had failed to provide the grounds for cancellation of bail. The top court said that Islamabad High Court did not exceed its authority in granting bail to the convicts of the Avenfield reference. Nawaz Sharif is already in prison since December 24th after being sentenced to jail for 7 years in Al Azizia Steel Mills case, another corruption reference.
Moving on, Pakistan has been consistent in subjugating the public in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Nisar Shah, a political activist, recently highlighted that Islamabad has been misusing draconian anti-terrorism laws to oppress the common public in the illegally occupied territories.
Activist Nisar Shah recently highlighted that the Schedule 4 of Anti-Terrorism Act is being blatantly misused by Pakistan to crush any dissent simmering against the establishment in territories under its illegal rule. During a recent conference, he blamed that in the name of draconian law, arbitrary detentions, extrajudicial killings and persecution of the common public and activists are committed in the illegally occupied territories of Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan.
ये किसी को नहीं पता कि आज भी गिलगित-बल्तिस्तान की जेल के अंदर 11 लोग गुज़िश्ता 7 साल से जो है वो जेल में और उनको 40-40 साल की सजाएं हो चुकी हैं जो अवामी हुकूक के ऊपर लड़ने वाले लोग जिसमें बाबा जान का नाम शामिल है और बाकी शामिल है वो जेलों के अंदर है गुज़िश्ता 7 साल के। बाबा जान को याद करो, बाबा जान को याद करो, बाबा जान और उनके साथियों को याद करो। वो 7 साल से जेल में और उनका कोई क्रिमिनल केस नहीं है उनके ऊपर, वो पॉलिटिकल विक्टिमाइजेशन है, पॉलिटिकल कैटिंग है।
Owing to routine torture of political activists, the public lives in fear in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan, which illegally occupied these territories, on the other hand, continues to neglect much-needed infrastructure development and basic amenities in both the regions.
And in news from Afghanistan, Afghan presidential candidate Mohammad Hakim Torsun has said if he succeeds in the upcoming elections, he will restore 30% peace in the country. Before taking oath of the office, he has also levelled some serious allegations against certain political leaders.
Presidential candidate Mohammad Hakim Torsun on Sunday said that if he succeeded in the upcoming elections in Afghanistan, he will restore 30% peace in the country before taking oath of office. He said that incumbent President Ashraf Ghani and Chief Executive Officer Abdullah would not have a role in his government while expressing his hope over a victory. Torsun also levelled some serious allegations against certain political leaders and said that he will bring the conflict to an end in the country after winning the elections.
زمانی که من آغاز به چنین کار کردم همه مردم افغانستان هم میفهمن که من نه غاصب هستم نه فاسد و نه مفسد و نه هجنت کدام کشور.
Meanwhile, a number of Torsun supporters pledged to use all available sources to ensure that Torsun wins the next presidential elections. Torsun, who is 64, was born in Ashukan Arifan area of Kabul city. He obtained a bachelor's degree from Kabul University and pursued education in the intelligence sector in Uzbekistan, Russia and Germany.
And more news from Afghanistan. Afghanistan's second Vice President, Mohammad Sarwar Danish, has criticized the Independent Election Commission over its poor management of the election process. Danish said allegations of fraud, violations and corruption against the Election Commission have raised questions on the image of the Afghan people and the government in the international arena.
Afghanistan's second Vice President Mohammad Sarwar Danish on Sunday criticized the Independent Election Commission or IEC over its poor management of the works in the election process. Danish said allegations of fraud, violations and corruption against the Election Commission have raised questions on the image of the Afghan people and the government in the international arena. He said that the people are running out of patience because of the poll body and the Independent Electoral Complaints Commission, and that there is a need for systematic reform to be put in place within the commissions.
کمیسیون‌های انتخاباتی باید بدانند که کاسه صبر مردم افغانستان لبریز شده و بیش از این نمی‌توانند ضعف‌ها و ناکارآمدی‌ها را تحمل کنند و اکنون مکلفیت حکومت وحدت ملی است که اصلاحات همه‌جانبه را باید روی دست بگیرد.
This comes a day after the IEC apologized to the people for a delay in the announcement of preliminary results of parliamentary elections for Kabul province, but said the results will be announced in the near future. The Election Commission said bringing more transparency in the process was the reason for a delay in the announcement. The Election Commission has announced preliminary results for 33 constituencies out of 35.
A team of chefs in India's southern Chennai city recently attempted to make a Guinness World Record by preparing world's longest dosa, a South Indian dish made from a batter of fermented rice and black gram. The dosa was prepared on a 105 feet long pan.
Indian chefs in southern Chennai city recently attempted to make a Guinness World Record by preparing world's longest dosa, a South Indian dish made from fermented batter of rice and black gram. A team of 60 experts led by renowned chef Vinod Kumar prepared a 100-long feet dosa made of nearly 83 pounds of batter, including a combination of chickpeas, green gram, millets, black gram, among other ingredients. The dosa was prepared on a 105 feet long pan.
So we decided to attempt to enter the Guinness Book of World Records by creating the longest dosa in the world at 100 feet. Hopefully we'll even break the 100 feet with this attempt. And this dosa comes with a lot of different ingredients in it, beginning with a millet base. Normally it's rice flour.
The chef coordinator further added the dosa made to register the record was cooked with the idea of promoting healthy food. Dosa is a typical South Indian food taken as breakfast or dinner and is rich in carbohydrates and protein.
Devout Hindus across India on Monday congregated at river banks to take a holy dip to wash away their sins on the occasion of harvest festival of Makar Sankranti. People also flew kites to mark the festival.
Devout Hindus on Monday thronged India's temple town of Varanasi to take a holy dip in river Ganges on the occasion of Makar Sankranti festival, marking the journey of the sun towards northern hemisphere, corresponding with the beginning of longer days of sunlight. Braving the winter chill, priests performed aarti as the devotees took the holy dip in the river to wash off their sins. Makar Sankranti is one of the most auspicious days for the Hindus and is celebrated in almost all parts of the country in myriad cultural forms with great devotion, fervour and gaiety.
आज के दिन मकर में सूर्य प्रवेश करते हैं। आज के दिन स्नान करके खिचड़ी, लैया, कम्बल इत्यादि का दान करते हैं लोग और अपने परिवार के मंगल कामना के लिए स्नान करते हैं।
Similar scenes were witnessed in India's West Bengal province, where people gathered at the Sagar Island to take bath in river Ganges and pray to the sun god for the well-being of their families. Meanwhile, in Ahmedabad city of Western Gujarat province, people were seen flying kites to celebrate the festival. As per Hindu astrology, the transition of the sun from Sagittarius to Capricorn zodiac during the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is known as Makar Sankranti. The occasion is considered very auspicious by the Hindus for attaining higher worlds hereafter. It is also believed that the holy dip during Makar Sankranti washes away all sins.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now, our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.